All right, greetings everyone. Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to the first official Monday Musings post of 2022. Um, what a great holiday! Just super relaxing. Got a lot of stuff done. Chris and I just had a staycation, indulged ourselves in a lot of different things. Watched movies, watched shows, played a lot of games, got a lot of YouTube content produced, and just really recharged the batteries before getting into the new year, which is the most important part about a holiday, is actually recharging your batteries. Um, Beard got a little longer. I had a brief moment of debating whether or not I was going to shave it off, and Chris was like, "You've made it this far, you might as well just keep going until you reach terminal growth." I was like, "Why not? I'll go to terminal growth and see how far my beard will actually grow before I whack it all off, because I'm a year and 4 months in or something at this point. So let's just keep on going. um, uh, let's just talk a little bit about end of year, what we're going to be doing in the new year, and just go from there. So first and foremost, Chris and I just sat down. I'm pre-recording this as always on Sunday. So this comes out on January 3rd, but I actually recorded this on January 2nd at about 11 a.m. it looks like. And we just finished our end of the year session where we sat down and ironed out the schedule for next year. It's in its rough format right now. We still have to meet with my brother and adjust some things here and there. But between day job and um, stuff on Weaving the Void, I'm looking at about 10-hour work days. That's split up about 5 hours in the morning with a good 4 hour break in the middle for exercise, lunch, nap, which I usually do pretty much every single day. Usually around 11 o'clock, we go either for a run or for a walk, come back, have a shower, have some food, and then I lay down for an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. So that's a good, 3 to 4 hour break in the middle, and then I get up and I do another 5 hour circuit. So getting about 10 hours a day in. It's a couple hours a day more than what we were doing in 2021, but that's because we're adding more things to the slate in terms of being regular about now that we have all of the Weave in the Void stuff has launched as of November of 2021. Been out there a couple months now, so now that we've got all that out and we're pushing forward towards launch of some of the products, um, we got to get a little more aggressive with the scheduling. So, for example, every Monday from 5 to 7, I'll be doing incarnate streams, and every Tuesday from 5 to 7, I'll be doing miniature painting streams. And then my brother will also be doing a miniature painting stream somewhere in here, and Chris will eventually start doing art streams. Those will all be happening on our Weave and Void Twitch channel. I've also carved out more reading time for myself, and a new rule, which is no cell phone, no smartphone in the bedroom, and no smartphone at all after 9 p.m. Some nights it's not going to matter too much because I'll be playing EverQuest 2 a little bit late on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights. But other nights, the reason I want no phone in the bedroom is because I want to actually dedicate more time to reading this year. Because I got the Kindle Paperwhite latter part of fall of this last year, and I really only did about a book a month, and I'd like to up that to like maybe a book every 2 weeks. So, one of those things that has to happen is I just have to make the time to read. And one of the things that happens is when I go to the bedroom and I take the phone with me, I get distracted because I'm either watching a Netflix show or I am on TikTok at night, and that needs to stop. So, that's one of the big changes that's happening in the new year. Um, Release wise, we're still shooting for a April-ish is kind of the deadline I'm shooting for the tabletop stuff, sourcebook and um, uh, campaign module for Escape from Parthana. Um, that will depend on one thing in particular, whether or not I'm the one that ends up doing the interior design for those and the layout within Adobe InDesign, or if I find someone to do it for me. Because if I have to do it, then I'm going to have to take time to learn how to use Adobe InDesign, get a template, and set everything up and make all that work. I would rather hire somebody to do that. But I also would rather hire somebody to do character art as opposed to go to Fiverr, and I have not found any artists, which is weird. We've done 3 calls for artists over the last 3 months, and nobody has let us know that they want to work on something. So I'm thinking people must not be as hungry for work as they claim they are, because I haven't found anybody who wants to do artwork yet. So more than likely, um, we're going to be going with somebody on Fiverr. We're going to give it a couple more weeks here as we get into January, but if we haven't found anybody by that point, I'm just going to Fiverr. I've already got half a dozen artists I've looked at. I'll be ironing out one or two that I really think represent the style that we want to go for, and then just working with them. And if that turns into a long-term working relationship, great. So yeah, that's all the Weave in the Void stuff. We got our scheduling ironed out. That was all done today. So moving into the new year, that's gonna be a bigger part because now that we've got everything out and all the social media released and all the websites and everything else, we are marching down towards the release of products. I need to oil this chair, it looks like. I've had it 3 years and I haven't ever needed to, and it started squeaking a lot lately. Hopefully you can't hear that. Maybe you can. Who cares? Um, got a bunch of new patrons. Thanks so much. Got a bunch of new subscribers over on Twitch. Thanks so much. Patron is getting ready to blow up big this year. We sort of casually promoted it last year, but now that we're getting into 2022 and we actually have products coming out um, and a bunch more regular content, we're going to be hammering on that Patreon page. So if you're here watching this and you haven't subscribed to the Patreon yet, you totally should. There's a variety of reasons for doing so. First and foremost, if you just hang out here on YouTube and you want to support what I do here on YouTube, then you can pick up a $3 a month subscription. It's a great way to support the YouTube channel here. Buy me a cup of coffee, and you get access to the book chapters for The Weave in the Void as they are produced twice a month with artwork from Christina. And you also get some other updates for general patrons. Then if you want to pre-order the tabletop books or pre-order the point and click adventure game, there's tiers for that. There's also a monthly tier for monthly Zoom calls and etc. There's a bunch of different tiers you can pre-order different products at, and it's a great way to get involved with what we're doing with The Weave in the Void. But beyond that, for my personal YouTube channel here, I'm I'm sort of increasing the amount of content I'm producing on YouTube for the new year. I'm also going to start doing more varied content. So as much as there are going to be game reviews and gaming content, I'm now, as you've already seen, I've started to introduce show reviews. So just yesterday, I released the review of Netflix Midnight Mass. Phenomenal show. Go check out that review. Week before that, we did the Witcher 2 season, and then before that, I was doing the individual Wheel of Time episodes for Amazon's Wheel of Time. I'm going to continue to do that in the new year. I'm also going to be continuing to do book reviews in the new year. And beyond that, I'm also going to start talking about MMORPGs again, but not in the Mondays in MMORPG show. I feel like what I was doing with that show is already being done with the Looking for More podcast that I'm a part of. And as long as the guys are happy to have me there, I have uh, no desire to go anywhere else. It's a great show. I have a lot of fun with Nathan and Simmer. Um, and as long as Simmer's happy to continue with that show, I'll be there. So getting the that sort of out of my system with those guys is a great place, and that I'll continue to do that on Thursdays. But I do have other things I want to talk about related, in relation to MMORPGs. And I previously did that through the Mondays and MMORPG show, but that was typically always more pointed towards development stuff. And I've rambled about this in the Monday Musings before, but I'm definitely going to be doing more individual episodes on topics that strike me. We were talking about this Discord the other night playing EverQuest 2 because it was brought up on the Looking for More show, and then the guys I was playing EverQuest 2 with one night were we were talking about it in greater detail, and I was like, you know what, I just need to do a YouTube episode about this, which is whether or not subscription-based games can even survive in 2022 in the modern era, given that we have things like Games Pass that offer so much more value for $10, $15 a month, and the fact that um, new IPs, it's hard to justify a subscription cost. On top of which, I'd like to also talk about why big games fail, looking at Try the Avatar and, Crowfall, two games that definitely did more than $10 million in terms of money put towards development with teams of 40 people and with big names behind them, and those games have failed despite the fact that they had big names. I'd love to dive into those kind of things, so I'm going to be talking about that. I don't know if I'm going to jump on the whole Chronicles of Illyria and Dreamworld train, But I will say this, I have noticed that everyone who has done that has seen their YouTube channels blow up in 2021. And I feel like a lot of this is related to people love a good train wreck. And if you're covering the train wreck topic, you're going to start to get more YouTube subscribers. And I've never really wanted to be an ambulance chaser, but at the same time, there are things that I would like to say about those types of things. So I might do some content, but I don't know how much I will do specifically around train wrecks. We'll see. But the short version of this, as we get to the end of my TLDR part, is that I'm just going to be doing a lot more here on YouTube. I've actually carved out um, a fairly steady 5 day a week, actually 6 days a week. 6 days a week, I have 2 hours a day carved out for YouTube production, which in throughout 2021, I didn't have an actual set schedule for YouTube production. I just produced content when I had spare time and when I had free time. The only regular thing that I did was this show, Monday Musings. Every Sunday, like clockwork, I sit down and record this because it's 30 minutes out of my day, and it's every Monday it comes out. But this is the only show that I've done like with regularity throughout 2021. And moving into 2022, I want to have more regular content coming out. So if you notice throughout 2021, I pretty much had at least one, if not two pieces of content coming out most days of the week. I started incorporating shorts about a month ago. Those are doing very well. And then I hit the community posts in November. So I've started doing community posts. So I'm just working on building the YouTube channel. I'm also working on building my TikTok. The TikTok is going to be a lot I don't want to say a lot different. It is a lot different. It's a lot different than YouTube because the YouTube channel is mostly my nerd stuff and gaming stuff, but my TikTok, my personal TikTok, I should say, not the Weave in the Void stuff, but my personal TikTok is more towards life in Mexico and just my personal life. So it's Chris and I, it's us on walks. We've already done a little bit of this. It's stupid, funny, quirky videos. So I'm working on building that up as well. So if you like that type of content and you want to see it, the other side of things, that's not necessarily the long form content that I create here on YouTube, then you should definitely check out the TikTok because I'll be doing more stuff there. Um, I I haven't actually ironed out exactly what I'm going to be doing there. I just know I told Chris, I was like, we need to start doing more stuff here in the city, life in Mexico, that type of stuff. So we're going to be doing that over on my personal TikTok. So the links are below if you want to come follow me over there as well. And that'll eventually lead to one of the things we're going to have mentioned here on the show. We're going to attempt to get back into traveling a little bit on a casual basis throughout this year, and that content will be largely produced for Marginal Boundaries. We're waiting on some scheduling stuff to iron itself out for the early part of January, but once we know, we should know by the middle of this week, hopefully. And then once we know, we're going to try to schedule a 2 day trip down to Puebla, 2 or 3 days, and that'll be a photo shoot and video shoot. I won't take the drone to Puebla because it's too difficult to use drones in the big city. Because technically you can get away with it without needing a permit, but if you get caught, you can get fined. And I don't want to have to go through the issues of trying to get a permit right now at the last minute. And I don't like to risk sending my drone up without a permit because I don't want to get fined and I don't want to get my drone confiscated. So big cities, I typically don't do drone footage. We'll just do lots of normal photography and videography. When we go out to the smaller pueblos and we go out to small villages and things of that nature, you can get away with the drone because there's nobody around and nobody's going to report you, and the cops don't care when you're out in the middle of nowhere. So stay tuned for all that stuff over there. Um, Shows, books, Weave and Void, lots of fun stuff coming in the pipeline. EverQuest 2 is still moving ahead at a steady pace. We have our guild meeting on January 6th, which is this upcoming Thursday. We're going to be talking about roll call for the Rise of Kunark expansion to see who plans on actually raiding with us so that we can determine whether or not we've got enough people to do the mythical content. Even if we don't, we're still going to be doing the fabled content and then perhaps attempting it with mercenaries, which is what we did in 2017. We did it with 12 to 15 people on average, and we just used mercenaries. So we're going to be doing that for story purposes because I want to cover that content on YouTube anyway, and I'm streaming regularly now, and I have been for the past 6 weeks, every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on YouTube here from 7 to 10, 7 to 11. Sorry, 7 to 10, 8 to 11, depending on things. Like Saturday nights, I sometimes start later. Sorry, I have hiccups all of a sudden. Because I have Minecraft with my nephew occasionally, and when we do Minecraft, we play from like 7 to 8. And so that pushes my start time back by about an hour. So it's like 7 to 10 on Thursdays and Fridays, and sometimes 7 to 10 on Saturdays, but if not, 8 to 11. But usually 3 hour sessions, 2.5 to 3 hours, and I've been streaming those. The views are great. We're getting great views. We're getting new followers. Welcome, by the way. Um, and I really can't wait to show off the fabled content and the mythical content and the Rise of Kunark expansion as a whole in the in the new year. So thanks for those of you who've been tuning in and watching all of that stuff. Expect to see more. I obviously got the Xbox Series X for Christmas. I picked up the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass package, so I fully plan on producing a lot of game content this year between the Xbox and the PC. So obviously, EverQuest 2 is the game that I'm streaming right now, and that's the MMORPG I'm playing. I don't have plans to do any other MMORPGs, but I am going to be doing a lot of other games because I'm having fun doing that. And that's part of what my new schedule has carved out is every morning when I get up, I'm setting my alarm for 6, which I usually get up around 6 or 7 anyway, but I'm going to be a little more strict about it. And then from 7 to 9 every single morning as I'm sitting here with coffee before my day starts, I'm going to be sitting either here at the desk or on the couch and recording footage for games and producing lots of new game content for um, the new year. So hopefully all of you enjoy that as this channel continues to grow. And we are getting close to, we passed the halfway mark back in at Thanksgiving, and we're already well into the 600s now, and we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, which is great. Um, I'm really, Chris and I are really looking forward to getting to 1,000 subscribers because that's the point when YouTube starts monetizing your videos, and then they start promoting those videos a little bit better because the algorithm wants to promote videos that have ads on them more than it does content that doesn't have ads on it. And of course, as we continue to grow the channel, that's a great additional source of income. That's just a nice way to get it's a nice way to get paid for producing the content that you create on YouTube. And obviously it's not a lot. You're not going to make a living off of YouTube unless you're in the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But it's a great supplementary thing, and it's a great way to get a little bit of cash back for your little hobby project. And then of course, while we're getting to that point, there's always Patreon for those of you who want to help out your favorite content creators. Something else that's going to be happening in this new year is we're already doing streams every Saturday morning with Christina playing EverQuest 2 with me. She mentioned after this session we just did this past weekend that she wouldn't mind doing 2 sessions a week because she sees the growth that it's been helping the YouTube channel have. And so she was like, I'm more than happy to do it, 2 times a week. We just need to figure out when that needs to happen. So the Saturday morning sessions are going to continue into the future. Those are around 9 a.m. Somewhere around 9ish, 9 a.m. ish on Saturday mornings. We stream EverQuest 2, she and I, as she continues to learn how to play EverQuest 2 and MMORPGs. And she's willing to do another session, so we'll probably add that in there at some point. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. And then even if we end up not playing EverQuest 2 in the future, I think we may end up, I'll get another controller for the Xbox, and we might do some content together doing Xbox co-op games. Um, but there's lots of things that we could do now that I know she has an interest in doing games for the YouTube. Even if it's just Saturday mornings, there's lots of cool co-op games that she and I could play to continue to produce content for Saturday mornings. So even though for now it's just, Chrisma the Noob plays EQ2, that might evolve into something like, Tim and Chris play this, Chris and Tim play whatever game. And those are going to be streamed. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. So I'm 20 minutes in. I feel like that's a good episode for this week's Monday Musings. I'm about to go record footage for the top 5 MMORPG soundtracks video that's coming out next week, which is my personal take on what are my favorite 5 soundtracks. Um, and I saw some people making some guesses on the community post that I put out the other day. None of those guesses were correct. You'll have to wait and see. So, for those of you who have been following along and have joined the channel already, thanks so much for your support, for being here, for hanging out with us in Discord, playing games with us, joining us on YouTube, so on and so forth. If you're new here and if this is your first time and you've made it through to the end of this video, awesome. Take a look around. Check out the other playlists that are down below here on YouTube. And if you like what you see, like this like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so that you never miss a piece of content that I produce on YouTube. Don't forget to join our Discord. And of course, if you want to support, there's always the Patreon for the Weave of the Void project. It's patreon.com/wandering hermits. You can find all the links below as well. And I'll see everybody next time. Stay safe, stay safe, stay healthy. I can't talk. I need more coffee. Until next time, everybody.